Oh yeah, babies. You are here, you are ready to like the video, you are ready to subscribe to the Kuba, because today we are dancing away from all our problems. Did you see the podcast episode today is about my flaws as a dancer? Because we all have flaws. Many flaws. And one of my major flaws is that, as dancers, we just kind of buff, we debuff, we don't really face these problems head on. We hire other people to do them, or we make the enemy so weak that we don't even have to fight them. So that's what we're going to discuss today, the act of dancing around our problems, guys. I hope everybody's having a good whatever day we're uploading this on. Gonna finish up the dancer quest today with quite a sad but ambitious quest, because this is generational. Generational problems we're solving here. In Dragon Quest, you see, their ancestors were possessed, and have to put the actual souls to rest, and let them complete their journeys. But I'll let you guys enjoy that on screen. I won't bore you too much with my explanations of the dancer story. It's quite straightforward. But what I want to get into today is my propensity to not really ignore things, but not entirely face them head on. I have kind of adapted a sort of faux pas Asmongold sense of settling things in life, where I will keep the problems on hand-ish, but I'll kind of bounce back between what I actually want to set goals to achieve, sustain for, because I feel like life really should be lived to enjoy, to have fun, and so certain people take this too far, but to me, fun, quote unquote, always means growth. It always means sustaining an area of power, of strength within yourself, and doing those things that help you decompress and feed your soul as well. So it's the two dichotomies between that, because I feel like if I really just sat at home and gooned all day and didn't do anything that I actually didn't like, it wouldn't feel good after a certain point, right? So that's what I think fun really is. I mean, of course, when I'm about to do the stuff that I don't want to do, like eating healthy, cooking, working out, whatever you want to say, going to work, editing, whenever I'm doing the stuff that I don't want to do, it doesn't feel good before I do it. Sometimes it doesn't even feel good while I'm doing it. But after, you have to think about those three moments in every problem. The before, the during, and the after. And usually the before is the hardest part. It's very easy to default towards. I get up and I automatically play video games, or I get up and I automatically start up a YouTube video or whatever, instead of getting up and doing what you need to do. It's just like negative comments on people. I don't know about you guys, but whenever somebody says something stupid or something that I don't agree with, the first thing that pops up in my mind isn't, a comment on how that's different from my opinion. It's always some sort of beration or some sort of attack, And as a dancer, I've sort of realized that I don't really need to, go towards the strict damage. So, whenever I do hear something that I disagree with nowadays, I kind of just choose silence. I kind of choose like a joke or something. And, oftentimes people lead that to believe that I don't have any opinions, or that I'm hiding all my opinions because I'm an asshole or some sort of weirdo, dirty person. But, in general, people don't care about that. Your specific views and shit. They don't care about that. They don't care about the way you make them feel. At least for me. I could really care less. I've hung out. I've been best friends with a couple Trump supporters. I've hated some Kamala supporters. And I've done amazing things with leftist people who aren't extreme, and I've done horrible things with the people from the right that love the Trump guy. So it's different strokes for different folks, and there's different parameters to every person. You just have to realize, where people fit into your life and where you can fit into theirs. But, yeah, I've noticed really, this problems thing that I have, you know, we have problems with people or problems with like a situation or something, I really just kind of like to act like it doesn't exist. You know, I'm just kind of grooving and flowing through, and you know, it's just like whenever something feels kind of bad, I just kind of like dance it out. I just kind of like get into my body a little bit and just move around. And I just forget it's even there, and then we move on to the next thing. And it's kind of annoying. I've said it's annoying, and the reason why it is annoying is because it leaks onto other things, right? So, it leaks onto the way I play video games, which is why I mostly like playing RPGs, because, you know, when you play an RPG and you get stuck at a point, you don't have to actually attack the point, especially in this game. A couple bosses I'm stuck on, and, you know, I still like have to keep fighting the boss over and over and over again. I mean, of course I can do that. But usually whenever I get stuck, I like to just distract myself, you know, do like 8 million different things or whatever. Because when faced with a problem, I know my stupid brain and my stupid mind will just like try to construct the perfect solution, and I will not act until I have the perfect solution. So in order to avoid that constant thought loop, I just kind of do something, you know, no matter what it is. I just gotta activate my body mind beforehand. And it's the same way with people, which is why I hate text messages. Every text I see is a problem. And every time I'm looking at that problem, it's like I'm talking to you directly right then, which is why a lot of times I'll just completely erase the fact that I even got a text out of my mind. Because if I have the thought that I have a text in mind, oh no, I got to respond to them eventually or whatever, I'm going to neurosis over it. I'm going to think about all the horrible things I could say. I'm going to think about all the good things I could say. And then I'm going to think, what is the best perfect opportunity to say something amazing right here? You know, and I always think about the perfect timing too, and then the perfect punctuation, diction. Should I spell this wrong? Should I spell this right? Should I use an abbreviation? Should I use an emoji? Should I not use an emoji? There are all these variables in texting. And then I start to think even deeper, like what are they really saying? What are the variables in their speech? Because I mean, I'd like to not think that everybody thinks this hard about text messages, but I'd also, you know, go as far to say that many people probably do, and that may be why, that may be why a lot of people, you know, don't text people a lot or don't communicate a lot, because that is the primary form of communication. And I feel like if you're a girl who enjoys texting, you're probably a little fucked socially. Just a little bit. Because it is different. Whenever we read a text, it's not actually talking to the person. It's talking to your brain, reading it out that the person wrote. You know, it's kind of like when we're reading a book. You're not actually talking to the person who wrote the book. You realize that, right? So that's what scares me about text messages, and I have this horrible thing where it's like, I have to be understood, I have to, I really feel like it's because I have a lot in my mind, and nobody really ever taught me to get introspective and understand that. So for the longest time in my life, I didn't have like an inkling of understanding of what I was. I was just kind of pandering and being nice to everybody and giving everyone what they wanted. And sure, that's gonna work in school. Sure, that may even work in college. But when you get out into the real life, when motherfuckers really don't have to deal with your ass, nobody really fucking likes that. Especially not coworkers, especially not managers, you know? People want like an autonomous being, or non-autonomous, whatever. They want something with a brain. Especially with AI nowadays. I am so replaceable by AI in the workforce, in the workplace, because, you know, I don't know how to comfortably and socially normally walk those boundaries of, you know, hey, let's do this, or hey, let's try it this way. Because whenever I inject my thoughts into the matter, well, one, there's always just too much neurosis and too much thought that I have, that I feel like it's too well constructed without, you know, any other input. But on top of that, you know, I don't know how to well deconstruct it, so it's not something that's, you know, inherently offensive to someone else's brain power. Because sometimes the solutions can be so easy. They can seem so like, well, no-brainer to me. And I figured out a way to communicate that's in a non-antagonistic way. You know, the whole talking down to people thing that I've come across a lot in these videos is my problem. You can probably tell I have a very literatical diction to myself. You know, I like to use big words. Big words, big sentences, good diction, you know, and it's not a problem. Of course, it can help you a lot. But to relate to people, to could create community, you know, to make people comfortable, it's not very helpful. It's not very helpful. And I don't know why that is such an important part of my nature, to, you know, make the whole world comfortable, to make the whole world smile. I don't know why. But nevertheless, I gotta kind of deconstruct these conflict adverse traits, so that I can actually solve some problems of my own and problems of others. Truly. Truly, truly. Because although it has helped me this far in life, you know, dancing around the problems, moving throughout the problems, there are times when you really just have to put your foot down and say it is time to fucking do it, you know? Procrastination runs in the family, and I feel like we're all really bad at it. We're all really bad at it, especially when you don't really have to do work nowadays. And that's a scary thought, right? But I assure you, 2035, there will not be the regular jobs like you and me have today. Oh, no, 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 no. It'll be very different. So, you know, I'm not saying we'll all have to critically think and face our problems head on right now at the very moment. Yeah, but eventually you're gonna have to figure out, like, what you actually want and understand about yourself in life. Go ahead and find a sustainable way to live without an actual, you know, curriculum, work, whatever. You know, school's already changing drastically. So, yeah. About 10 years, and we are gonna have to sit down and really face these problems. Rich, poor, young, old. Because there ain't gonna be nothing else to do. You know, there'll be no random actions to take, unless you have a YouTube channel like me, and then you can just, I guess, you know, make a bunch of videos or something, but, yeah. So, guys, whenever you have strict issues, I would say, you know, schedule a time. Schedule a time to do it, because I know procrastination just feels so good. But what feels better is confidence, and how you gain confidence is by making promises to yourself that you will keep. So, yeah. Got a problem? If you don't want to solve it right now, make a time to think about solving it, you know? But I wouldn't get rid of that trait that brings me to take action, because I feel like that's a good solution for it. The whole analysis paralysis thing, you know, just moving into something. But that does not mean we can just, you know, sweep it under the rug and say, let's move on to the next thing. You know, you have to come back to it, because these problems in our lives, they're not just going to go away, you know? The only thing that's really going to go away is other people. They'll leave, for sure. Your problems will stay there, though. You know, even if your problem was, you know, quote unquote with this person, your problem's going to stay there and just metamorphosize onto another person in your life. You know, maybe someone new, maybe someone old, but, you know, the problems will always stay with us. So, you got an issue, remember to stock up on them tissues, because I miss you. Ew. Yeah, man. It's a long road. It's a long road to recovery, and to whatever stage you want to be in life. You know, it's always going to be a long road. But and don't take this in a wrong way, but I hope you never solve all your problems. I hope there's always another problem, because I've experienced people who quote unquote solve all their problems, and strangely enough, they're some of the saddest people on earth. It's really weird, that dichotomy of things, and this may not be something you want to hear, but problems are the only reason you get up in the morning. Oh yeah. I'm dead ass, man. You don't get up in the morning because someone loves you. You don't get up in the morning because, you know, God is good. You know, you don't get up in the morning because, you know, the earth is beautiful and there's wonderful things in the world for you to see. You don't get up in the morning for any of those. You get up in the morning because you have a problem and solving it will make you feel better. So take a step, go towards the solution, and then go to bed thinking, man, tomorrow we'll get one step closer. And we'll get that much more powerful. Yeah. You know, I wish the world was more tuned towards positive things. It's just not what we really focus on. It's really not. And you can tell just by the way the algorithm is constructed, you know, the way we read YouTube comments, even the way we are raised as children. You know, I know a lot of people who have memories of one bad thing that their parents said to them, and that just stuck with them forever. But you know, how many times has your parents told you you're amazing, you're awesome, you're the best, you're unique, you're beautiful? Probably so many fucking times. But that one time that they told you something evil, it sticks with you. People don't watch things on the internet that are just positive. It always got to be funny or hateful or very horny. You know, those are the three things that really drive engagement. And we know this. A lot of people capitalize off of this. But you really have to understand that the yin and the yang is within us. You can't be blinded by these social justice warriors that are just like, everything in the world must be good. It's black and white. They're evils. Stay away from all the disgusting people. All the incels, the gooners, the rapists, the pedophiles, the diddies. Okay, diddy's probably pretty bad. But you know what I mean. There's a gray area to everything, you know? And no matter what the verdict may be on whatever the fuck is in the world, you have to decide for yourself. Like, do I like this or do I not like this? And whatever that choice is, it is yours and yours alone. You don't need to share it. You don't need to, you know, defend it. You need to find someone who vibes with it. Vibe with them. And live your fucking life. I don't want like 8,000 different friends or 8,000 different opinions in my head at once, man. And I don't even think we can handle that shit. Like it was crazy. I went through this girl's phone and like, how do you understand or even keep track of all these conversations? Like I can only like keep track of like 2, maybe 3 conversations. You're over here talking to like 10, 11 people in different text chains. Like, do you have to scroll up and read the last like little bit of what the fuck they were saying in order to, like, why do we need all this stimulation? I swear, man. And it's not real. You realize that, right? You're not really talking to people. You are not. You are not. I feel like that's why AI girlfriends are kind of popping off too. It's because guys don't understand that reading text on screen is starkly different from talking to someone while they're sitting right in front of you. I don't know why guys really don't understand that, but it's way fucking different. Way fucking different. So let's get out there. Let's talk to some people. Let's not avoid our problems, but keep dancing. Keep dancing around without avoiding the problems. And I have a problem with people, so let's not dance around the peeps. I love you guys. Subscribe if you want to. And I'll see you next time.
Screwed up, his shit got burned up, so he fucked her up and she turned big. I got chewed up, that shit fucked me up, so I'ma fuck you up. A kid called him, that kid grew up and messed this kid up, he fucked her shit.